many book reports have you given at work this year? For most people, it's a resounding 0. But I believe most people have given the equivalent of a book report at work multiple times so far this year alone. So what do I mean by book report? Well, let's go back and think about when we were in junior high or high school, heck, even college. And you had to get up and you had to prove you read the assigned book by giving a report in front of the class. And you start off, or I start off by saying, okay, today I'm here to talk about where the wild things are. Over the course of the next 20 minutes, we're going to cover 3 things. We're going to cover the author, the main character, and the plot. Then afterwards, I'll summarize those 3 things. I'll give a recommendation on whether or not I think you should read the book. I'll ask if you have any questions, and I'll thank everyone for their time. Pretty standard book report approach. One of the problems with book reports is that it really doesn't convince anyone to do anything. Think about all the book reports you've heard as another student sitting in the class. How many times did it actually drive you to go out and read the book someone else was reporting on? Probably never. But I think the same thing happens in business when we give business presentations. And so a typical business presentation is pretty similar to that book report format. Now, there are a few differences. Particularly if you're talking to a customer, you have to introduce yourself and who you are, and you tend to spend a little bit of time introducing your organization. So what does that look like? Well, you start off with that slide that says, hi, my name is Kevin Palo. I'm the Vice President of Empty Words. Today I'm going to talk about beautiful but boring content. And I work at Cloudco. And we've got 10,000 employees in 47 different countries. And we work with a lot of different clients. You know, we've got a lot of credibility because we work with so many different companies across different industries around the world. And today in my presentation, I'm going to cover our features, the timeline, and our case studies. And then I'll spend quite a bit of time, maybe 16 slides, going through all the different features. And then maybe I'll spend 7 slides going over the timeline and next steps. And then I'll spend a couple of slides going over a case study or 2. And then I'll summarize those 3 things. I'll give my recommendation. I'll ask the audience if they have any questions. And then I thank them for their time. The problem with presentations like this is that they really tend not to drive any decision at all. It just takes up time. And so I want you to be honest when I ask you this, but does this sort of PowerPoint presentation sound familiar to you? And if this is the type of presentation that you or your team gives, you're probably suffering some very specific symptoms, things like stagnating sales, or if you're presenting to internal audiences, either slow or no decisions at all. And typically, an utter lack of urgency amongst stakeholders that are actually sitting there and listening to your presentation. So, what that means is you need to stop trying to convince someone that you did your homework. Stop trying to convince your coworkers or your audience or your customers that you're smart. Instead, I want you to start helping your audience make decisions and to help them take action. Get them to do something around your idea or around your project. What that means is you have to stop focusing on informing your audience. Instead, you need to become a remarkable advocate. Advocate for your idea. Get them to take action. What that means is, first off, you need to change the focus of your messaging. Stop talking about you and your company and your product. Start talking about what it's going to do for your audience. How is it going to help them? And that means you need to use different ingredients of communication. You need to be able to create interest. You need to offer them a new perspective. You need to generate some emotion. And then you need to back it up with the right sort of evidence and logic. But those ingredients have to be delivered in the right way and in the right order in order to have the most impact. It has to match the way people actually learn and make decisions. That's complicated. But if you want help or you just want to kind of explore where are you today, where would you like to be with you or your team's messaging, let me know. Send me a message, send me an email, just get in touch with me. I'm happy to spend a little bit of time on Zoom with you and we can just discuss. My name's Kevin Palo. I'm a corporate storyteller. This is what I do. You can reach me at kevin@deliberateconsulting.com, or if you're interested in looking up one of our open workshops we have coming up, go to www.deliberateconsulting.com/open. Love to hear from you. Good luck.